We've got you at the location. We know you know her.
He'll kill me if he finds out. I've been lying to him this whole time.
What about Lucy? She should be sitting in her seat.
You can't get out of here. I can't do this. Listen, you can't escape then.
I need the rooms ready by 11.
Every girl that's tried to escape, they end up back here or dead.
Be a hell of a night.
Jack's won't put up with you for much longer. He'll cost them money.
If the girls are out, you're going to have a problem with her.
Olivia May and Lucy Summers, they worked at the same nightclub.
So as you can see here, this is the initial trailer that Chris Smith had put up for this film Set Me Free. And this is a clip of my footage he has put up, and he's also named it Set Me Free. I believe the first footage he uploaded are stolen footage from other people's films to make it look like he's got an idea for a film. And I can prove that the second Set Me Free that he's uploaded is stolen footage from my film, Refeed the Lethal Dose, which was filmed over 4 years, has 4 chapters to the whole story. And for some reason, this man decided to come into my life and steal my film and try and pose as the producer, whilst also trying to damage my reputation in the process. As you can see in this short piece of footage here, this is in fact me playing the lead, Lucy, in Refeed. You can see here that Chris has uploaded it to his private Vimeo account where he publicises his own films, and he's called it Set Me Free. Mr. Smith has infringed on my copyright 3 times now whilst waiting for this court hearing today. I've pieced together the online evidence to show you exactly how he's been doing it. In 2016, a year or a year and a half before I even met Chris, he had an idea for a film called Set Me Free. He published this film on the International Movie Database, and he had a full cast listing. He also has a volume 2 for this film called Set Me Free, and it seems to have the same cast, crew, and him directing and producing both movies. So when Chris Smith contacted me in late 2018, I believed him when he said he was a student filmmaker and that he wanted to come on set for a weekend to gain some experience. I allowed him to come onto the set, and straight away there were many things that made me feel uncomfortable. At the end of that shoot, I decided not to invite Chris Smith back. He automatically started to give me a lot of abuse online, and I had to block him. We carried on filming the Refeed franchise and went on to finish the 3rd chapter and then on to the 4th chapter. And during the sort of end of the Refeed 3 premiere, my film was put onto a DVD site so that the actors could buy that chapter of the movie. Chris Smith then bought the download and he re-edited it, renaming it Set Me Free Retribution, using my photography and my footage, and then uploaded it as a completely different film to his YouTube and video platforms and other distribution sites on Google. It seems that Chris Smith likes to have a laugh with his victims, as he calls his production company TV Bandits. You will notice all over the Set Me Free Retribution version of my film Refeed, he's titled the production company as TV Bandits. So not only has he stolen the title of my film, he's lied about the production company that produced the movie. So I had to spend months trying to get this stuff taken down and proving that I was the copyright holder. And like I say, he's done this 3 times now, calling the film 3 different titles, naming them Set Me Free, Retribution, Retribution as a lone title, and The Girl Who Spoke Fire, which was very recently. What we also noticed was the Retribution poster that he had put up on the IMDb Pro for the film was in fact stolen from another website that was a charity for sex trafficking victims. So it seems that IMDb don't really do the checks on the photography unless somebody reports it. And Chris Smith is a little bit of a con man within the film industry. I looked further into the Set Me Free listings that he had posted, and I came across a Kickstarter page that Chris had set up way before I'd met him, a couple of years before. And it goes into great detail of the idea he had for this film called Set Me Free. Mr. Smith was pledged £1,845 to make this movie. And it seems that all the information that was added to the Kickstarter, including the photography and footage, has nothing to do with the Set Me Free Retribution version he put out using my photography and my footage. I believe that he came on set with the idea of stealing the film due to the questions that he was asking. I've also noticed that in his latest film that he has done this year, 2025, there is a man in the cast who has recently ganged up together with Chris Smith and put malicious allegations into the police about me. Now, they had me falsely arrested under harassment and stalking charges, which were completely false and malicious. I believe it was done to scare me into not coming to court. All the charges were dropped when I showed the police all the evidence of what was going on and explained that I am actually taking this man to court. But it wasn't a very pleasant evening to have to spend the evening in the station. So also in this film, Diamond Dogs, I've noticed in the cast list there's another man called Aaron Twin. He is the best friend of a man who raped me in 2018. I kind of knew they knew each other from the set of Roofage, but I had no idea that they were sort of in cahoots 6 years, 7 years later down the line. So I believe this recent attack of stealing my film during waiting for a court case is down to revenge, and he's basically teaming up with a few men that tried to give me some trouble a few years ago. So I'm asking for the court to put an injunction in place to stop this man from harassing me and constantly trying to provoke me by putting in false claims on copy on YouTube, in trying to basically get my account shut down. There was a time that I didn't get to the computer on time. Chris had put in a load of false copyright strikes against my actors' show reels, and anything to do with Roofed the Lethal Dose he was claiming as his. YouTube normally give you 24 hours to prove the copyright, but I was away, and when I came back my whole YouTube account had been shut down. So he tried to do it a second time, but on the second time I did manage to prove to YouTube that I was in fact the copyright holder, and that was all rectified. So I now got IMDb and YouTube and Vimeo that have put things in place that Chris can't do this anymore. But the fact that there are other platforms, and he's so persistent with changing the title of the name, thinking he's going to get away with using the footage just because the title's different. Yeah, it's been pretty frustrating and draining. So as you can see here on IMDb, I started writing Roofed in 2016 and I finished the script in 2017, and we started filming in 2017. We then went on to the second chapter in late 17, working through to 2018. And then on the third chapter was 2018 into 2019. Then we went on to make a fourth chapter. But the film we're talking about today that Chris Smith keeps trying to steal the copyright for is the Roofied the Lethal Dose, 2019. For some reason, he just wants to take this snippet of the film. This one chapter was actually the trilogy in a four-part series, and he's called it all sorts of different names, just causing complete confusion with cast and crew and humiliation to me, and no regard for the law or people's property. I sent Chris Smith a cease and desist letter by email. He received that cease and desist letter, but he continued to steal the movie yet a third time. This was recently, only a week ago, I found out that it had been uploaded, now being called The Girl Who Spoke Fire. This time he'd removed my name completely, but he was using all the photography. I don't know if he's actually uploaded this onto any platforms as a film, but in the cast and crew list, it was exactly the same listing for the Roofied the Lethal Dose crew. So I contacted IMDb. They saw that it was basically the same details and film, and they had it taken down immediately. I would like to bring it to the court's attention that I am infuriated with Chris Smith for wasting police time, wasting the court's time, and wasting my time. This was completely unnecessary and all done as a tactic to humiliate me and be a pain in my life out of revenge. Christopher Smith has stated to the court the reasons as to why he stole my film and decided to retitle it, taking the credit for the writing and all the organisation it took me to put this film together over the space of 4 years. He tried to steal my connections, my cast credit. Not only that, he's gone around the industry and tried to badmouth me to anybody that will listen to him. Over the past 6 years, I feel that I have been subject to narcissistic abuse. Christopher Smith has also targeted my film pages by adding nasty reviews, silly pictures with not very nice memes on it, and trying to put me down as a person. He's condescending and he tries to gaslight in the behaviour that he portrays towards me and other colleagues that choose to ignore his behaviour. He targets anybody that wants to work with me and is so persistent in trying to embarrass me by renaming my film several times. I've lost many nights' sleep because of Christopher Smith, and I've had to dedicate a lot of time into rectifying the information that he's put out on Google. None of this was done by mistake. He knew exactly what he was doing, and when asked to stop, he decided to call me names and tell me that he's looking forward to the court case. A court case that cost me money, that could have been spent on my children. I believe that this has all been a game to Chris up until now. And for somebody like him to state that he's a professional filmmaker, but then state to the court that he has no job and no money, yet he funded a film this year with my rapist's best friend and other people that he's enticed to put in false allegations on me. I believe that this is all a game plan to try and ruin my reputation within the film industry and target me as their victim. I do not believe that Christopher Smith did this by accident. I believe that this is sinister and malicious. when Mr. Smith made his allegations to the police, he had in fact come onto my Facebook and screenshotted a post I had posted on my public wall, which was informing other cast members that I had won the court case by default as he had decided not to turn up. I have never harassed Christopher Smith, and I would ask the court to see the messages where he has asked me to leave him alone, because they do not exist. Christopher Smith is doing what every narcissist is brilliant at doing: projection. He's blaming me for the things that he is in fact doing. And over 6 years, he's left a paper trail. He's a con man. He's a liar. He's a manipulator. And he's an abuser. And he's also a thief.
The papers.
Child abduction cases go.
Name was too much of a reminder.
Called Lauren. Lauren Howard, is that correct?
Really like them games they're drawing.
The shit is getting well out of control.